This forecast is powered by Tilton Square Theater, Atlantic County's most comfortable movie watching experience.
And a very happy Saturday afternoon, my friends. It's weather time. I am on location at what has to be one of the most unique spots in all of South Jersey. I'm at the East Point Lighthouse. I've never actually been in the lighthouse itself. We went for a tour a few minutes ago, and it's really, really neat. It's not your typical museum where everything is just blocked off and behind glass cases. It's actually set up how it was in 1849. This thing has been around for 170 years at the mouth of the Morris River going on into the Delaware Bay, and it has directed fishermen for all those years. It is an incredible building, and in just a moment we're going to be talking to the president of the Lighthouse Historical Society. All right, but first we want to talk about your weather, and the first note on our weather headlines here, we do have clouds and sun mixing together, kind of a milky, hazy sunshine as we have some of that haze that is making its way into South Jersey all the way from Canada, believe it or not. As we go into tomorrow, we are looking at some showers and thunderstorms that are going to be developing. I'd say the heart of the day, 3 to 7 o'clock, and some of those storms could be on the stronger side. After that's out of here, we're going to be cooler for, say, Monday and Tuesday of next week. Temperatures are only going to be in the mid and upper 70s, and we're going to have a drier feel. Then the 80s come back by, say, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Let's take a look at where we go this evening. Patchy dense fog possible. Overnight low temperatures in the lower 60s. And tomorrow, I'm going to use a classic debate line from 1980. Mother Nature, there you go again. We are under a slight risk of severe thunderstorms. This is the outlook from the Storm Prediction Center out in Norman, Oklahoma. Again, some of those thunderstorms could be on the turbulent side, heavy downpours, frequent lightning, and maybe even an isolated tornado. So stay right here and we'll have you updated on that. Your 7-day forecast, we are going to be talking about another active pattern moving in for next week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, several chances of showers and thunderstorms. All right, so again, I'm at the East Point Lighthouse, and this is set up the exact same way it was in 1849 when it was built. That was the kitchen. This was the dining room. They had a little fireplace over there. Family would get together here and eat dinner. Back then, it was simpler times. You know, everybody just talked about their day at the dinner table. I'm told that the lighthouse keeper's room and the children's room is upstairs, and the lantern room is also up the stairs there. And then this is the living room. This is where everybody would kind of chill out at the end of the day. And they didn't have TV back then at all, but I'm sure they played board games and other games. And hey, Nancy, how you doing?
Good.
Good to see you. Thank you for inviting me down here today. I was telling our audience, I was never in the lighthouse before, and thank you for showing me around. It's really, really cool. We're celebrating Bay Day today.
Correct.
Tell everybody in a brief summary, what's that all about?
Well, it's basically a celebration of the Bay, of its people, its history, the wildlife, all things about the Bay Shore, the southern Bay Shore of New Jersey. And today is a good community day to just celebrate and emphasize all the things that make this place so special.
So as the president of this society, explain your day-to-day role.
Well, it's everything from recruiting volunteers to making sure we don't float away to checking on alarms because the water is rising. It varies from day to day, but it's programming and continuing to set up the museum, writing thank you notes for donations, and it's you name the hat and I wear it, and so do the other volunteers that back me up. So.
And you definitely touched on something important. Irregardless of what's causing it, the sea level is beginning to rise decade after decade, and it is unfortunate because we've seen storm after storm where the water comes up to basically the steps, and there's this restoration process that's been ongoing for several years. Is that right?
Well, as far as the building restoration,
right? Yes.
Yes, the building restoration is actually complete. We have a couple fine-tuned things to do as far as setting up the museum, but that will always be happening.
Right.
But the restoration of the beach has not happened, and it's been basically unaddressed erosion for decades after decades after decades.
And that is what I'm trying to get at. All this history here, 170 years of history, it can't just be washed away. So we have to come together and put public pressure on the people that can make that decision. And, you know, you have a very loud voice, and we appreciate that. For people that have never been to the lighthouse before, what can they expect on the grounds here? And, you know, what's the process like from beginning to end for like a kid that wants to see it?
Well, they can start by exploring on the beach. There's all kinds of things to see from wildlife we have right now where the horseshoe crabs are in, and they can see what a horseshoe crab is and learn about that. Collect things on the beach. So you can start there and walk the grounds. You can picnic. There's picnic tables all around. And then you can also come into the lighthouse and experience what it was like to live and work at a lighthouse in about the year 1910-ish, somewhere in there. So it's like stepping back into history.
Literally, because I don't know if I could do it without Wi-Fi and Facebook. How did people live back then? Like I said, it was a much simpler time back then. What are the hours?
Well, we're open this time of year because we're still all volunteer. This time of year, it's every first and third weekends of the month from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, unless we have a special event like we do today, and that's both Saturday and Sunday.
What's one thing that's special to you that not a whole lot of people know, but you would like the world to know about the lighthouse?
Well, not only the scenery around it and the wildlife that's here, but we also kind of have a little claim to fame that this is the one lighthouse that you can actually turn on the lighthouse light. And the kids get a big kick out of it, big and small, because, then you get to feel like a lighthouse keeper because you've turned on the lighthouse light. And it doesn't hurt the lighthouse at all because it's actually a sensor, and you've just made it seem like it was dark out when it wasn't by putting your finger over it. So
that is really cool. Well, I appreciate the information. I appreciate you stopping to talk to me. Can we take a look over there? I mean, this is a really cool place. And look at the checkers here. These checkers are shells. And Nancy, do you want to play with me?
Sure.
All right, cool. Because this is...
Some kids have never played checkers before.
What? I can't wrap my head around that. Stop.
Mind-boggling.
All right, so I'm going to sign off because I'm sure that a lot of people don't want to see me lose at this. But again, thank you so much. Come out here to East Point Lighthouse. Enjoy yourselves. You can step back into a time machine and really immerse yourself with history. At the East Point Lighthouse, I'm Nor'easter Nick, SJN TV.